Just kidding.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Love you.
We love you, Iz.
Yeah.
Much love. Rest in peace.
We love you, Iz. Rest in peace.
Maui, Hawaii. Beautiful, isn't it? The ancients said that a demigod fished the islands right out of the sea. People from all corners of the globe have come to this small, yet irreplaceable paradise. Some by canoe, others by kayak, and many by plane. Whether or not you have been here since birth, or have only stopped by to visit for a few short weeks, chances are you probably feel a certain magic here. Is it how the sky is painted as the sun dips below the horizon, the calming walks upon the sandy beaches? Well, if you're asking for my opinion, I don't really know what it is. But I'm pretty sure that without our natural ecosystem and the abundant life that it supports, Maui might just lose that magic. And I don't mean to worry you, but if we want Maui to remain the beautiful place that it is and restore parts of the environment that we've already lost, there are some things that have to be addressed. In this mini-mentary, we're going to focus on 4 main parts of Maui's ecosystem: streams, forests, wetlands, and coral reefs. Like all ecosystems, Maui's collective ecosystem is affected by all of its parts, even down to the last grain of sand, and that's something to always keep in mind.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you're broke, your love's like a DOA. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. It hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year.
Chapter 1: Streams.
You can think of Maui's streams as the veins of the island, beginning at the tops of the mountains to eventually spill into the ocean. They link all ecosystems together. Organic debris such as branches and leaves that fall into the streams carry nutrients to invertebrates and fish that live downstream. By the time the water reaches the ocean, it is rich in nutrients and helps to boost the ecology of the coral reefs. Other streams pour into wetlands areas, which are rich and diverse ecosystems in their own right. But around 150 years ago, many of Maui's streams were diverted for sugar and pineapple fields, causing species living in and around the stream habitats to decline, and worsening the conditions of coral reefs. Since then, the last of Maui's pineapples were harvested in 2009, and a victory was won for the environmental community on October 13, 2014, when waters owned by HCNS were restored to Maui's Wailuku and Waikapu streams, 2 of the biggest streams on the island. Furthermore, HCNS is set to close down their operations for growing sugarcane in the state of Hawaii by the end of 2016, meaning that an annual amount of 5.47 billion gallons of stream water will no longer be in use. The future of Maui's remaining water is uncertain. Will it go to development and housing, a different agricultural use, or be restored to the natural ecosystem? Maui's population has doubled in the last 20 years, with 400 million gallons of water used each day to sustain it. Optimistically, we have estimated 50 to 60 years of water remaining in our aquifers before we are completely dry. Facing these facts, the future use of Maui's water and of Maui's streams is under pressure on multiple fronts.
Chapter 2: Wetlands.
More than 1/3 of species that are threatened or endangered in the United States rely solely upon wetlands for their survival. Around half of endangered or threatened species in the United States rely upon wetlands at some stage in their lives. Wetlands also help to store carbon and maintain atmospheric conditions, as well as support recreational and tourist activities, such as fishing. Wetlands protect coastal areas from storms and provide erosion and flood control. On Maui, flooding in the town of Kihei is a prime example of what happens when wetlands are developed. Taro, the staple crop of the Hawaiian people, is one of the crops that is grown in wetland areas. But perhaps most importantly, wetlands help to recharge our aquifers. Without them, securing water is far more difficult to come by. The benefits that we receive from wetlands are many and invaluable. But most of the wetlands on Maui have been developed into industrial hotels or residential areas. Many of the native species that live in Maui's wetlands are water birds, who are under the strain from feral cats and mongooses. Feral pigs also uproot native plants and destroy their habitat. Fortunately, there are 3 major wetland reserves on Maui, where the natural habitats are being maintained: Kealia Pond National Wildlife Refuge, Kahana State Wildlife Sanctuary, and Waihe'i Coastal Dunes and Wetland Refuge. However, all of these reserves lie near the shoreline, and with climate change on the rise, the future of Maui's wetlands may be in jeopardy due to the risk of rising sea levels.
Chapter 3: Rainforests.
The rainforests of Maui are the biggest players in forming our watersheds. The upper canopy attracts clouds and moisture, and serves as an umbrella against rainfall for what lies below. Water then makes its way to ferns and mosses that make up the spongy undergrowth. This sponge of plant material captures and absorbs groundwater, and it helps to form streams. In the rainforest, it is often too dark and wet for bees, so the job of pollination is left to other species, such as birds. Maui's forests were decimated during colonial times for the selling of koa wood, and to clear land for sugar and pineapple plantations. Now, the biggest threats to Maui's rainforests are invasive plant and animal species. Chief among them are mongooses, wild pigs, Myconia, kahili ginger, and strawberry guava, among thousands of other plant species. A more recent phenomenon is rapid ohia death, a fungus responsible for the sudden decimation of native ohia trees on the Big Island. This is of great concern to all of the Hawaiian Islands, including Maui, considering that ohia makes up 50% of our native forests. The local government has made it mandatory that anyone working with ohia must wear protective gear and sterilize it after use, as well as no one is allowed to move ohia material between islands without inspection and a permit.
Chapter 4: Coral Reefs.
Coral reefs provide habitats for 1/3 of all marine species. For humans, coral reefs generate an estimated $375 billion globally every year in goods and services. These include tourism revenue and pharmaceuticals for diseases such as cancer and HIV. Reefs also protect coastal areas from storms, flooding, and erosion. Coral reefs in Hawaii alone generate $800 million in tourism each year. Corals are the product of a symbiotic relationship between polyps and zooanthellae, a photosynthetic plankton that allows coral to grow from sunlight. When corals die, their carbonate skeletons add to the structure of the reef. 1/3 of our carbon dioxide emissions are dissolved into the oceans. The acidification of the oceans make it difficult for calcium carbonate to form. Climate change also makes it difficult for the sensitive polyps to survive in warmer waters. This causes coral bleaching, named after the white appearance of coral after all the colorful polyps have died. Sedimentation from coastal development is also an issue on Maui, as the runoff from construction sites is carried to the ocean in rainstorms, preventing the corals from receiving sunlight. Research is currently being done in order to find out what to do about the crisis of coral bleaching. But the main issue is on a global scale, as it involves climate change as a whole, and will require solutions in many other fields to fix the entire problem. So we've laid down the facts for you. We know it sounds grim and depressing, but fortunately many people are doing their part to help combat the threats to our environment. And now, we're asking you, our dear visitors, to please help us too. Here are some things you could do. When hiking in our native forests and wetlands, please take a moment to brush off your shoes or sterilize them with a disinfectant to avoid spreading the potential seeds of invasive species. While swimming at our beaches, please be sure not to step on our reefs and kill the sensitive polyps that cover them, and allow them to grow. Plus, if you do, you're likely to get urchin spines in your feet. Avoid wearing the sunscreens with the certain chemicals listed on screen. All of those chemicals are proven to cause coral bleaching. And obviously, don't litter, it's just hurtful. Thanks for watching, respect the environment,
And have a nice day.
For his voice work takes a lot of it. We're gonna have to blur that now.
Good.
Because Tristan's standing in the room.
This is a great concern to all of
Oh
the
my God.
Hawaiians.
Shut the
Reach now, biggest threat to Maui's rainforest.
Why you gotta be this way, man? God damn it, Austin!
Alright, oh, it's going. Hold on, I'm getting a call. Who is it? Okay, I'll get you the money. Get out on the street. When water's owned by God damn it!
The police!
The police!
Police coming straight from the underground. Right. Oh, what? Hold on, let's hear the police.
Is he crazy? I don't know.
Dude, I didn't hear it. Did you?
I heard a dragon.